Hello, welcome back. I'm Chidi Abhishek De Silva, an undergraduate of the JAM Institute for Advanced Technology. Welcome back with the question series of Database Management System 1, and today I'm here with the question set number 21. And in this question set 2, we're going to discuss the same question scenario that we had in question set number 16. And as the first question, they're asking what is the highest mark obtained in the first term mathematics subject, and as a second question, what is the highest mark obtained in the second term science subject, and as next question, what is the highest mark obtained by the students for all the subjects in the second term, and then as the fourth question, which subject got the highest mark in the second term, and as the next question, find the details of the student who got the highest mark in the second term, and as the last question, find the details of the student who got the highest mark in the mathematics in the first term examination and the class in which he studied. And today I'm using SQL software, so let's move to SQL software. So in the first question, you have to find the highest mark obtained in the first term in the subject called mathematics. So then let's type select query as select. We use the keyword max here as we have to find the highest mark. So then inside the grade mark, we use the mark as we gonna find the highest mark or the max mark, and then the from keyword, then as normally the database name as exam marks DB, and then the table name as student exam mark record table, and then we're gonna join our exam term table. We use the on keyword to specify which column of the student exam mark record table is joined with the exam term table. So then student exam mark record table dot exam term ID equals exam term dot term ID, and then we again use an inner join to join the subject table. We use the on keyword here, and then the student exam mark record table subject ID equals to subject dot subject ID, and then we use the where clause, and then check the conditions. We check the subject name equals to inside the quotation marks mathematics, and then we use the and keyword here, and then inside the grievance mark the term name, we check the term name, and then equal to quotation marks first term, and then at last a semicolon. So then let's execute this query. So here the max mark obtained in the first term for the mathematics subject is 90. So then let's move to the second question. They are asking what is the highest mark obtained in the second term for science subject. So here we have to find the highest mark that's got in the second term for science subject. So then let's type again a select query. Select. Here too we can use the max keyword, and inside the brackets, inside the previous mark, we're gonna find the max mark. And then we use the from keyword, we're gonna find max mark from the student exam mark record table, and we use an inner join here as we have to join the term table and our subject table. Here I will join our exam term table at first, and then the on keyword, and then student exam mark record table dot exam term ID equals to exam term table dot term ID, and then we again use an inner join, and then let's join the subject table, and then we use the on keyword, and then the student exam mark record table dot subject ID equals to subject table subject ID, and then we use the where condition here, and then inside the grievance mark we check the term name equals to inside the quotation mark the second term, and then we use the and keyword here. Inside again the curly bracket mark, we check the subject name equals to inside the quotation mark science, and then at last a semicolon, and then let's execute this query. So here we can see the highest mark obtained in the second term for science subject is 95, and in the third question you have to find the highest mark obtained by the students for all the subjects in the second term. So then let's type a select query. Select, we can use the max keyword here as we have to find the highest mark, and then we use the from keyword, and then the student exam mark record table. We use an inner join here to join our exam term table. We use the on keyword to specify the relevant columns on the student exam mark record table dot exam term id equals to exam term tables term id, and then we can use the where condition here, and then we can give inside the gray mark the term name equals to inside the quotation mark second term, and then at last a semicolon, and then let's execute this query. So here we can see that the highest mark obtained by the students in the second term is 98.5, and then as the first question, which subject got the highest mark in the second term. So we have to find the subject name which the highest mark has obtained by the students in the second term. So in this question we have to obtain two results. One is the highest mark obtained in the second term, and then the subject name. So then we can use a subquery for that. So then at first let's type the select query. Select the subject name, we need the subject name, and then from the subject table we use an inner join here, and then we join the student exam mark record table as it contains the marks of the student, and then we use the on keyword here, and then subject dot the subject id equals to the student exam mark record tables subject id, and then we can use the where clause here, and then we check the mark. We can use the in keyword as we're gonna use a subquery here, and then inside the brackets we can type the subquery as select. We need to find the max mark or the highest mark. So inside the brackets, inside the gradient mark, we use the word column name as mark, and then we use the from keyword, the student exam mark record table, and then we use an inner join here to join our term table, and exam term table we can use the on keyword here, and then the student exam mark record tables dot exam term id equals to exam term table dot the term id, and then we can use the where clause here, and then we give the term name as term name equals to inside the quotation marks the second term, and then at last a semicolon. Then let's execute this query. So here the result is the Sinhala language and literature. It means the highest mark obtained in the second term by the Sinhala language and literature subject. So then let's move to the next question. There we have to find the details of the student who got the highest mark in the second term. In this question too, we have to use two queries or the subqueries, as we have to find two results. One is the highest mark obtained in the second term, and then the details of that student. So then let's again type a select query. Select, we need to find all details of the students, then use the from keyword, the student table. We can use an inner join here to join the student exam mark record table as it contains the marks of the students. We can use the on keyword here, and then index number equals to student exam mark record table dot the student index number, and then we can use the where clause here and specify by the mark, and then in keyword inside the brackets we use the subquery we give the subquery as select the max, then we get the from keyword, and then student exam mark record table, and we can use an inner join here as we have to find the highest mark obtained in the second term. So then we join the exam term table, and then we can use the inner join student exam mark record table dot exam term id equals to exam term table dot term id, and then we can use a where clause, and we can specify by the term name equals to the quotation marks second term, and then at last the semicolon, and then let's execute this query. So here we have obtained all the information about the student who have obtained the highest mark in second term. So then let's move to the last question. Find the details of the student who got the highest marks in the mathematics in the first term examination and the class in which he studied. So in this question 2, we have to get two results. One is the highest mark in the mathematics subject in the first term, and then the student details of the student, and then the class of the student. And then let's type again a select query, select, then we give the table name as student here, as we have to get information from two tables. One table is student table, and then the class table, and then dot, and then here again the all, select student all data, we have to obtain all details of the student, and then use a comma, and then the class table dot, and then we need to obtain the class name, and then we use the from keyword here. We need to obtain information from the student table, and then we use an inner join here to join the class table, the class. We can use the on keyword on student dot the class id equals to class table dot class id, and then we can use again an inner join here to join the student exam mark record table, as it contains the marks of the students, and then we use the on keyword here, and then student dot student index number equals to student exam mark record table dot student index number, and then we can give the where clause as where inside the previous and mark you can use the in keyword here, as we gonna use a subquery, and then select. We need to find the max mark here, as we have to find the highest mark obtained, and then inside the previous and mark the mark from the student exam mark record table, and we use an inner join here, as we have to join the subject table and the term table, and then let's first join the subject table on the student exam mark record table dot subject id equals to subject table dot subject id, and then we can use an inner join, and then we join the exam term table, and then we can use the on keyword here, and then the student exam mark record table dot exam term id equals to exam table dot the term id, and then we can use the where clause here, and then we can specify inside the grievance and mark the term name equals to inside the quotation mark the first term, and then we can use the and keyword here, and then again the grievance and mark the subject name equals to inside the quotation mark mathematics, and then at last the semicolon. So then let's execute this query 2. Here we have obtained the details of the student and also the class he studied. So we have done all the questions in the question set number 21. In this question set we mainly focused on the max keyword. So then let's meet from the next question set number 22, and bye for today.